Get started with today's session, guys. So in this today's session, we will be continuing from sets. Okay, since we already covered in the previous session about all the remaining four, yeah, sets. So sets are one of the very important, data structure or data type which we have used in the real time, and I'll tell you why. So currently, if you see in the based on the yesterday session, number can store only one value, list can store multiple values, and it can also store duplicate values. For example, if you define a list, right? Let me quickly show you the quick difference between list and set. So how you can define a list? You can define a list, let's say number list. Number list equal to, for example, it can be any range. That's fine. Okay. So these are we can define a number. Or see in this, what I can do is I can also have 5. All right. In this, what did you notice? If you notice this, this particular list can also store duplicate items. If you go ahead and print this out, print, let's say num list is, for example, or you can name the same variable. S- It would make sense actually when you want to troubleshoot num list, num underscore list. Got it? If I export this program, what did you notice? See, whatever I have defined here, whatever I have defined in this num list, right? You can see everything here. Did you see this, including duplicate values? But what is the beauty of sets, right? Sets are sets are used to store the items only or the like values, but it will not store any duplicate ones. Let's say if number is repeated, let's say for example, one is repeated twice. Like every number is repeated twice, right? It will not store multiple, multiple values, multiple duplicate values. It can only have one reference, and remaining thing will be erased or deleted. Got it? And to define a set, we need to understand, those important points, the way which we have learned here. So when it comes to these 2 points, like every data structure has two important points we have to understand. So when it comes to sets, s- set items are stored in unordered collection, unordered way, which means that whenever you define, it may print out any order. Okay, and now you cannot use. So previously we are trying we were trying to use if you, for example, when it comes to list case, you define a list, and since items are stored in order, right here, and you can access, let's say if you want to fetch the value number 30, you can use index number 2. But where case of sets, so sets, it is in a completely another state. If you want to fetch some value, you have to use looping and other techniques. Okay, other way, like if you want to check other way around, it is not possible. All right, right. It's stored in unorder. Next, once we define items can be changeable, yeah. So once we, even when it comes to sets, once it is defined, items can be changeable or modifiable or deletable. So directly, since you cannot do directly using index number because it would not support index number. Also, I put a point here. Unorder, since it's unorder, it will not support indexing. Okay. That's where when I say indexing, like we used to keep a zeroth index, zero index number 0, 1, 2. We mentioned right in the study session. I defined how this is indexing happens, right? So this way, and once the set is defined, items can be changeable. So you had a quick question, right? Hey Kumar, you're saying that index it's not support indexing. but how this can be changeable if you want to change some value of it. So how this can be? So there is state methods are available or functions are available which would help us to modify. All right, cool. So let me define a set. Example set is, for example, set is used to when it comes to the definition, sets are, you can learn in a practical way. So you will find a number of theoretical definitions, but learn in a way that where your experience speaks. When it comes to sets, set is a collection of immutable immutable data types. Immutable means not changeable. Set is a collection of immutable or not changeable data types. Okay, I'll tell you how. So when it comes to numbers, number is immutable. Tuple and strings are immutable. Okay, only three are immutable: numbers, tuple, and strings. These three are immutable. Okay, so meaning when you define a set, only three. Okay, let me also put it here. It is a collection of immutable items, not changeable data types. Okay, which is numbers, string, and tuple. Okay, these three data types. So other than this, if you keep anything else, right, it would not support. It would not help you to create a set. Okay, cool. So let me do one thing. Let me comment this out. Anyway, this is given as a reference, but that's fine. Since I'm just distinguishing between list and tuple, so list and set. So let me create a same way when I want to define a set. Exactly same. I'm just replacing list with set, right? And replacing square brackets with curly braces. So to define a set, we used to use curly braces. Okay, cool. And if you see, there is no much difference. Only the variable name, I added one extra tag set, and instead of this square bracket, I put curly braces. All right, cool. Everything is same. But when I try printing this set, right? So set, cool. If I start executing this program, you'll come to know. What did you notice here? Did you see it? So I tried printing. I defined this define this number list. Define set actually here, right? When it comes to number list, it printed everything, including the duplicate values, right? But whereas in the set, so set is only stored original values, and duplicate entries will be deleted. Did you get it? So this is what the difference between uh, list and set. And the main advantage of set is it's very important because imagine you want to maintain servers, for example, in the real time, and you had thousands of servers, for example, and you had a list of servers, server details, let's say server one, server two, something like that, right? And so on. And mistakenly, one of the other programmer or mistakenly added 10 more servers, duplicate servers, let's say again. Now you got assigned to do a server configuration, right? But if you see, if you define a list, if you define a list for storing the items, right, for doing a configuration, what will happen? Your see 1 2 3 4 5. This very first time that should be absolutely fine. But when it comes to the second time, what you are doing? You are reworking on the same server which you have done already, right? Already configured once. Again, if you see under lost, like you are because there might be a chances of rework on the configuration, though it is completed, and which is no more required for the reconfiguration, for example. Here currently I put just what we can say, I put some integer values, but when it comes to the real time, we used to keep our real world server details. Okay, like server 1, server 2, like we will keep all the server information. That would help us to configure properly. If you look at this, if you use for that scenario, if you use list is not of course it is okay technically, but when it comes to the actual business use case, this is not a preferable data type. Okay, so that's why where we can, that's why we support you know that's where we will start using uh, set data structure. So though, for example, though you have defined a number of times, for example, even if imagine these numbers are server numbers, for example, though you made multiple attempts, duplicate attempts, right? It would not. So when you want to traverse through, so this automatically correct it, and it can only hide the original values, right? So okay, I just added some junk. So dot and all not supported in Python. Instead, I'll keep like this. That's okay. Yeah, did you see it? Though I had a multiple entries, like three times, three times one entry is there. But when it comes to the correction, it auto corrected, and data would be available only once. Even when you want to configure, so that's the scenario where we will start using, set. And even in the real time, you'll had a data of let's say duplicate items. Even in interview questions, they'll ask, hey, I had a list of data, and I want to remove the duplicates. So how you can do it? So there is a type conversions that, like, you can convert list to set. That is possible. uh, I can quickly show you, like, how to do a type conversions also. So for example, this is a list, right? And what you are asked is, the task is remove all duplicates in the list. Okay, example list is this. Got it? It's very simple. So Python become very famous because it is rich in libraries. What does really mean? Which means that functionality is already implemented. You just need to invoke it. You need to understand which function use it for what purpose. Okay. And when it comes to built-in functions, in built-in functions, let's say we had a functions like integer function, list function, tuple, string, set, dict. We got it. So these are the built-in functions. Now, if you want to convert, let's say, list to set, for example. So currently it is a duplicated. Okay, let me take this example quickly. Yeah, and I want to comment rest of the other stuff. For example, let me comment this and comment this. All right, correct. So when we are working on this kind of examples, right? Now, as what I have mentioned, so Python has built-in functions, right? Cool. Now the task is very simple. Remove all the duplicates in the list. So what data structure would remove all the duplicates? It's a string, set data structure, right? So what you do is remove remove duplicate items equal to simple. Use set function, correct? And pass the variable list variable. That's it. If you pass this number list, you're done. And if you print, let's say, if you print this remove duplicate items, for example, Since set is used to convert, whatever the value are send you are parsing here, that would convert these values to set data structure. Okay, so that's where I'm demonstrating this example. If you look at this, see, that's it. If I execute this program, did you see it? So previously, list is having all the data, all the duplicates here. And what I have done with a small, logic, I have used the set function and I have passed this list, meaning I have passed this information. Meaning, since when you're passing this num list, which means that you are indirectly passing value of it. Okay. So when you execute this, again, if you have made one more execution, exactly same. You got it? It removed all the duplicates and you got this one. And for example, again, you want to convert currently, what is the data type of it? So if you look at this output, right? So the data type is number list, it is in a list. When it comes to the remove duplicates, right? So it is in the set style, correct? But you don't want them in a set style. You want them in a list style, for example, list data type. So what you can do? Again, you will convert it. Converted list equal to. So what you can do? What is the built-in functions for list? You can use just list of what is the variable you want to parse here, because you removed all the duplicates, and that value is stored into the variable name is remove duplicate items, right? Just fetch that variable name, pass it here. That's it, you are done. So if you print converted converter list, for example, so how you can make it? Just pass here and you can keep converter list. Got it? If I execute this, you'll come to know. Did you see it? So originally you had a number list which has duplicates, and we have removed duplicates using set function, built-in function, and here you have. And for example, your business use case required like in list type, for example. What you can do is you can convert them back to list. You got it? How to do a conversions and all. Now, do you got it? Right. So this is example use case of sets. Now, did you understood why sets are important? So sets are primarily very important, guys. Okay. So when you want to remove the stuff and make some original values, you can convert using sets, and whatever the data type you want, since you know what data type user for what purpose, right? So we can use this. See, if you want to convert anything to integer, you should use integer built-in function. So when it comes to function, you should make a function call. You know, you are calling the function. Okay, this is purely Python built-in functions, and see the even Python become very famous these days. The reason is very simple. Whatever you want to do, right? That functionality is already implemented. You need to understand like which function is useful for what purpose. Okay, so you by looking at this, for example, if you don't understand how to convert list to set or set to list, whatever, right? Even if you want to convert them back to set again, for example, still it is allowed. For example, let's say convert back to set, for example, and see like how the variable naming I'm performing. If you see all lowercase letters, don't beautify program with some are upper, some are lower. There is no competition on beautifying this data. So whenever you are defining a variable should be defined with all lowercase letters, and if it is more than one word, that word will be separated with underscore. Okay, don't put you want to double underscore, don't keep it. Okay, still it works, even if you just keep one more underscore or two more, still it is valid. But that is not a good practice. Like community people, we had a we had good guidelines, or not guidelines, I would say, like community people, we decided that to use only single underscore. Otherwise, right, if you want to somewhere, if let's say I put 2 underscore, and here what I'm doing, I'm trying to access this variable. Since I do a copy paste, for example, since it is in a very next line, this is fine. But imagine after some thousand lines, I want to use this variable, right? Then I should recollect, hey, I have defined this remove duplicate items variable, but did I put one underline or two underline, right? That would make your programming life very difficult, guys. Got it? So that's where always use single underline. Got it? And see, the one more thing. So you may be having question, right? Hey, you mentioned that from list you converted to set. That sounds good to me. And you stored into variable remove duplicate items. That's a variable that you have kept for storing this set. All right. Again, what you have done is you have converted them back to list. Okay. But still, if we want to convert one more time to set, but it does not add any value here. But still, if you want to do it, yeah, it is still allowed. But this time it would not remove any duplicates. The reason is very simple. It is already been removed, right? You got it? So how you can do set of, if you want to convert this list, because see, what is the type of it? This list. Even I can give one more example to support this. Set of converted list. Okay. Even in the real time, we used to keep variable names like this only. Here converted list, right? So here convert back to set is just keep that variable. So in yesterday's session, right? So I have when I review the stuff, the mistake from everyone is you just you put this out here, out of these double quotes. Okay. So when you want to print, so make sure you should that variable, like this placeholder should be inside the double quotes. Okay. Yeah. And see, if I execute this program now, did you see it? See, we had a original list. This got removed using set function, and this is the set variable information. And also we had a converter list here, like from set I've converted them back to list. So the result of it here in a variable converted list. Okay. So and then from this list I want to, let's say again I want to do a maybe let's, since it's a list, right? Since list is a mutable data type, you may be thinking that no, sometimes again it would have some duplicates. So if you want to remove, so again I converted them back to set. Okay, you can do n number of conversions. There is no limit that hey, once you convert to list, you have to stop there. No, there is no such break actually. As long as the values are you are dumping out, if it is available, it will remove. For example, when it comes to set, if it is not available, duplicates are not available. Still, it is try to figure out whether it is having any duplicates. If not, it does not perform any action on that. Okay, that's about set. And so understanding set in that style is this style is very important. Okay, got it. And let me comment this out. Okay, did you get it about sets? So okay, I want to support this, right? So when it comes to sets are another collection. Okay, so like you have a quick question. So Kumar, tell me like how it is being on another collection. Let's say sample set equal to. So set, as I mentioned, set can be set items can be of number, string, and tuple. Okay. Other than these three, if you use any other data structure values, it will not support. For example, number. So number is okay. Let me copy it instead of moving there. Right. Yeah. If you look at here, I can keep number. For example, let's say 34. It is valid set, and 15, for example, valid. Because see, I can keep any number, positive or negative number. That should be absolutely fine. Okay. If I execute this program, just running it, no problem. It executed without any issues. And because I commented the rest of the things, right? So it would not execute any of the above lines since the lines are commented. As you already aware, commented lines will not be executed. Okay, cool. Next, if I want to add some, let's say let's break the program now. In the sets, I tried added some list here, but list is having you know uh, numbers, for example. So this time this program will cry. The reason is very simple. Sets are meant to store only immutable data types. Immutable data types in the sense only numbers, strings, and tuple. Okay. If you look at this, the first item is integer, second also integer, third is list. So this where the problem actually. When I try executing this program this time, it would cry. Hey Kumar, why you define this? See, type error, unhashable type list. Got it? Which means you were trying to add something, but which is not supported. But this type is not supported for set. Okay. And as I mentioned, tuple is supported. For example, if I want to try out the same thing instead of list, if I just make some small corrections in this, if I execute this out, this happy. See, it is not raising any error. Let me also do one thing. Let me put some print statement so that visually you can see the data out there, right? Sample sample set is here, right? If you execute this, this would execute without any issues. Did you see it? And as I mentioned, if you are using square brackets, meaning if you are defining a list inside a set, which is completely uh, illegal, you cannot do it. So that's where it is complaining that hey, you are trying to do the same error only. See, it is clearly telling, hey, you are trying this operation, but since new item is available as list, so list is not supported. So type error, this type is not supported. Got it? Yeah. And if I do a small correction, even interview question will be, hey, you were saying, one second, let me quickly help you out. See, tuple is printed properly. And whereas in list will not proper. Let's say if you define a list, um, list raises an issue as set supports only as item. Got it? Right. Yeah. And the interview question might come like this. Hey, like what are like can I use list as like set item? Absolutely no. And they go like next question they'll ask like, hey, for example, they'll define like this. Okay. Hey, is it a valid set? Yes, it is valid. And if I keep list here, if you keep list here, then you should say that, hey, this is not a valid set. The reason is very simple. So the first two items are fine. But when it comes to third item, it is a list. So whereas in set is only supports immutable data types, which means like unmodifiable, unchangeable data types. So those are our only numbers, string, and tuple. Okay. Very next question they'll ask, hey, for example, if the list is having, if the set is having a tuple of like 2, 3, 4, 12, 12, 3, 4, for example, then this is like, yeah, this is like, okay, this is no, set cannot have a list. And if set is having tuple, this is yes, this is a valid set. Okay, valid set. And also they'll have one more question. Hey, if the set is having tuple, but tuple item, right? One of the item is list here. For example, let's say list of list of 5 comma 10, for example. So this time again, this is like no, it's not a valid set. No, it's not a valid set. The reason is very simple. So the first two items are fine. And when it comes to tuple is absolutely fine. But because of tuple item, so tuple item is one of the tuple item is list. So when you're defining anything inside the tuple, inside the set, right? Every item must be immutable. Then only it supports. Otherwise, it will not. So this is no. So this is not a legal. If I execute this out, for example, so see, it is failing for this. Oh, here itself. Okay. So this it is failing for here. Let me comment it because now I have already explained you. And when it comes to executing this, it's absolutely fine, no issues. But whereas the other one, see, the current issue is with this line. Let me close off the output terminal. If I execute this out now, you will see clearly. Did you see it? So actually, when I execute this program, it should be fine. You got this output. See, it executed this statement, sample set equal to this, printed out the sample set. And when it comes to this is like a commented ones, so which will not be executed. And when it comes to this line, 34 comma 15 comma tuple, this is absolutely fine, no issues. But when it executing this line, right? Anyway, I didn't store to any variable, so yeah, I can store or it's not storing because since a sample understanding, right? So I didn't store that to any variable. Okay, but when it comes to the last line, it's not happy. The reason is very simple. 34, 15, fine. 12, and here since it is having a list, right? Tuple, though it is a tuple, since tuple item is having a list, that's where the program got crashed. When you are seeing this kind of error, which means that your application got crashed. Okay, and the beauty of Python, as mentioned already, so it would clearly give you, hey, what is the file? The file name is this. Let's say in your location, see, it will give you the complete file path, tell you what line it is. Let's say line number 52. Okay, line number 52. I'm not happy. The reason is very simple. So see, line number 52. See, this is the line number 52. I'm not happy with this. The reason is it is a type error, unhashable type list. So even when it comes to other programming language, it would tell you compile error or some other error, syntax error, but it would not give you or specify where exactly the problem is, right? But Python is a very beautiful language, right? It would give you exactly which line has the issue and also tell you what is the problem. Okay, and it also supports. Currently, it's not giving any hints, but it also supports some other names. For example, let's say instead of set, I have used I have missed a T there, for example. If I execute this now, but did you see here what I have just done? I removed T here in the variable, right? But it is saying like a name error because I don't recognize name sample SC. It is not defined. But did you mean sample set? Did you understood it? So which way you can understand? Hey, okay, come on, I missed a T there. Maybe during my typing or somewhere, like I missed T. So let me go and fix it. it will clearly tell you, like, this is the file, line number 44. Okay, line number 44, something is not right. So which is, what is error? So line number 44 is this, and error is name error. When you see name error, which means that you are using a variable which is not defined. Okay, which is not defined, that's where the issue will come. Understood? Oh, then you realize that, come on, I missed out. As like, it also, like, it's saying like S3, that's okay, not defined, but it will give you the recommendation here. Hey, did you mean sample set? Yes, of course. Then I'll go back here and fix that issue. And if you rerun it, you should be fine. Correct? But this issue is different, right? Because we are using a list inside a tuple. Okay, that's where no, it's not a valid set. Reason is that all set items must be immutable or not not changeable. Make sense? Got it? Right. Okay, so this is the understanding of sets. I hope you understood and enjoyed, right? So let's jump on to dictionaries. And did we miss anything else in this sets? Oh, hold on. If I go back here, as mentioned, right? So it is another collection that we had to justify this one and this two. Okay, so we this two we missed. Instead of that, we talk about everything, right? That's okay. Let me take a sample set here. So when I say unordered, right? So meaning we had a set here. And when I try printing it, for example, print off, anyway, I'm just printing out here, right? So I can take the sample one. If I execute this out, since there is so much crap here, let me execute freshly. So that will have a proper stuff here. Yeah. So here, when I print it, what did you notice? As I mentioned, set is another collection, right? When you see set of 34, 30, 34, 34 is the first item, 15 is the second item, right? And tuple is the third item. But when I executed it, so it printed in unordered, right? See, it printed the last item first and remaining items here. Did you see it? So that's where the another connection. Okay, so sample, I'll put like here, sample output. This is a sample output. Get it? To support another, to understand. Okay. Next, what is the next one? The next one is like support set is it is immutable, meaning modifiable data structure in Python. So as mentioned, so you cannot directly do it since there is no index number supports. For example, let's try this. So any beginner, right? So they try. If I ask them, hey, can you add some item to a set? Let's say set of they'll say like okay, 0, 1, 2, and what they do is 3 equal to set of 3 equal to, for example, let's say they're assigning 45, for example. So what will happen if I execute this program? This will cry. It says, hey, what are you doing? You're doing this set object does not support item assignment. Okay, so what does really mean? Which means that when you are assigning some value to a set, right? So which is not permittable option. You got it? So why? The reason is very simple. Set will not support indexing. So what you are doing here, you are using index number, and you are using index number and updating some value 45. But set is another collection and which would not support indexing. So that's where the program is getting cried. Okay, so this is error. To give you a quick heads up here, so this is how it is. And when you want to do this, right? So this is not the way to do it. But when you want to do it, so there is a option. There is a function called add function. Let's say add. Anyway, we will come to these functions later sometime. But just give you a heads up that this is how you do it. Let's say, for example, sample set dot add. Okay, this is how we do a adding an item to the set. Okay, so when I reprint after updating after adding sample set after adding a new item is, for example, and let me wipe out this because I want to have a, or can I do can I minimize? That's okay anyway. I don't want to experiment now, but do you see it? So that's where set is modifiable. So original set is this, and using add function set name dot add, I have updated value 50. Now if you see set, if you print the same set, no sample set, the one which you define in the top, right? So the value is still, it is printing as it is added, and it is added to the original set. Whenever you use sample set, which means that you are taking out, you are having this new value also. I'll also say like sample output. You got it? Yeah. Any question points? First is dictionaries, or let me take out the note here. Whatever we had for sets, so that it will be easy, easy peasy. All right. So dictionary, right? So dictionaries also, items are stored in dictionaries. Yeah, items are stored in another collection. That's right. And since it's all another, it would not support indexing. Perfectly fine, because see, for dictionary and set, both are another collection. Okay, and once we define, items can be modifiable or changeable. So for dictionaries and sets, right, both are exactly same. Okay, and so when it comes to the syntax, so dictionaries now is key value pair. Okay, I'll show you like how even we use square brackets for defining a dictionary. Okay, and key value pair. It will stored in key value. Key values. I know this is a syntax. When I say syntax, the data stored in key value style. Right. Cool. So when it comes to this, right? When I say key value pair, and so here we need to understand key should be immutable type. Key should be immutable type, meaning integer, string, and tuple. Value can be any data type. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so again, we need to understand this way. So when you want to define a dictionary, so how we can define? For example, uh, and one more important, this is a very easiest topic and most widely used data structure in Python. Even when you are using, I think even Navin can say this, right? So when you're using any data, so you will be stored in a key value, right, Navin? When you want to, when you're working on the cloud environment, the data will be stored in key and value pair, right? So in Python, the dictionaries are the ones which supports key value pair. Only the data type supports key value pair. Okay, right. So like how we can define a dictionary? For example, my dictionary equal to, you should use curly braces. Okay, and as mentioned, it is key value pair. Let's say 1 colon, value can be anything, right? 20, for example. 2 colon 30, for example. It can be any data. It must not be only this, but it can be any data. You can keep any data you want. Okay, so this is how I just define a sample dictionary. Okay, and when I go ahead and print it out, right? Now you understood. So this is how to create a sample dictionary. And here, so actually we had index numbers, right? So in uh, list, tuple, strings, we use index numbers to access the items, correct? But here, when I want to access the item, right? And when I want to access the value, so you need to use the index number, not index number. It's a key value. Okay. So here it's a key. These are the keys. Okay. As I mentioned, the syntax is key colon value. If you want to get the value, you should use the key. You got it? So for example, I want to fetch a value for value 40, access value 40. How you do it? You can do print the same way, my dict of. So I'm just giving some heads up here, like my dict of. What is a 40? 40 is linked to what key? So 40 value is linked to or associated to value 3 here. Okay. Key number is 3. Is you can directly put a placeholder. No, this to give you some readability actually. Okay, you can write it anyway, but which would give you, let's say my dict of 3 is instead of this, it will give you the 40 here. Okay, when I execute this, you'll come to know. Did you get it? What I mean? Get it? This example, right? Yeah. So this is how you can access item. So if you want to print entire dictionary, so this is how we do it. Print entire dictionary. So you can directly keep that variable name. And if you want to access specific value, you should talk to specific that particular key, associated key. All right. And so this how you can access. Okay. And when it comes to printing, right? So it should print generally unordered. So before 3.x version, so we had currently we are at version 3.12, right? But so previously, so far, dictionaries are unordered collection. Okay. But after 3.x version, it is order collection. So whatever the way you define, it comes the same, exactly same way. Yeah, you can say here. Uh, Dictionaries are unordered collection, unordered, unordered. But after Python 3.x, 3.x means let's say 3.1, 2, 3, right? After 3.x, dictionaries are ordered. So this answer you should say. Got it? Hmm. Because whatever the order you print, whatever the order you define, the same order value you will see on the output screen. All right. This is how you do it. And when you want to access, this is how you can access. But when you want to access, it's not access. If you want to modify now, let's say you want to modify 30 with, let's say 100, for example. So how to do it? Again, modify the value 30 to 100. It's very simple. So what is the variable name? MyDict, right? And value 30 is linked to key 2. Okay. You should say key. And now if you want to update, MyDict of 2 equal to 100. So this is the way you can modify. Okay. So if you print, or if you print the entire list, entire dictionary now, let's say my dict after modifying, after modified, after modified the second key value is, okay, which would give you more readability. Guys, when you're writing out, please write proper statement, proper statement. This would literally help you a lot when it comes to the troubleshooting, right? See, such a nice, my dict is, it is enter one. My dict of three is, see, I can say like, um, key three is something like that I can put. But the thing is, when I do this, it would give more readability. It would exactly telling, oh, okay, so this value is from my dict of three, right? And also, if you see the statement, my dict after modifying the two q value is, right? There is w is maybe typo, mistakenly I have did it, but yeah, what you have to do is, see, 1 colon 20, and previously 2 is linked to 30, but after modifying you will see 2 colon 100, 3 colon 40. You got it? The only value gets changed here is 2 colon 100. Got it what I mean? So these are a very important stuffs that, very basics fundamentals we need to understand. Okay, if you want to modify, uh, see, as I mentioned, it is easy, right? It is easy to follow and easy to understand. You got it? So I support these two statements as well, right? Another collection, and this is also supported. And when it comes to define, like, dictionary can be changeable, modifiable, and deletable. And even if you want to delete, for example, you want to delete a certain key. Let's say you want to delete key value 1, for example. You don't like 20. Uh, delete value 20, for example. So how to do it? You can issue DL statement, DL of my dict of. So value 20 is linked to which key? Key 1. You got it? And after this, just write a beautiful message saying that, hey, uh, after deleting key 1 is key 1, the dictionary becomes the is, for example. You can put like this, put placeholder, and have this dictionary name. If I execute this out, do you see it? Let me do a fresh run so that it will be neat. Get it? See, after deleting key 1, my dict becomes what? So previously it has three values, three items, but now after deleting it become 2. Got it? You had any confusion in this or no? If you want, I can keep I can keep this value also. Guys, don't take notes on anything. So just listen to my session, okay? I'm keeping the reference also so that it will be more easier. All right? Yeah. So this is about dictionary. The next one is booleans, right? So booleans, it's easy peasy. When it comes to booleans, so booleans have only two values, true and false. But for booleans, it would not like it will not support any order, unorder, indexing, nothing. It is only having two values. So which is Boolean has only two values, which is true and false. Okay, so if you want to define something, Boolean, right? So you can say uh, my value equal to true, for example. Okay, and my value equal to false. But make sure, when you're defining Boolean, right? The first letter is should be capital and remaining all to lower. Then only it is a Boolean true. Okay. So if you, so let's say mistakenly if you use this, right? So this is not a valid one. It will raise a name error. So if I execute this, it will say name error. Say that, hey, what is true? I don't understand uh, what is true here. And also, as I mentioned in Python, right, it would give you a good hints, but did you mean true? Yes, of course, right? Did you got it? Yeah. So got it. And this is I'm just giving you for your understanding purpose. But when you want to define, how you should define? You should define true with capital T and remaining all to lower. Okay. I would say it's not a valid value. Okay. It's not a valid value. Cool. So this is what true or false. We don't have much information, or we don't do much information about this. But in general, we need to understand what is true cases and what is the false cases, right? Uh, but anyway, we will use extensively now. Cool. This is all, guys. Understanding this true and false is very important. But yeah, to support this topic, I will show you like what is true and what is false. And I attended one of the conference, right? And where I met so many programmers there. My very first question to them is because see, I'm a very junior there to host that meeting, and I need to present. I need to ask because before heading up, right? So you are talking to so many solution architects, and other stuff, other people. And my very first question to them is, hey, like how many of you are good in programming? That's my very first question to them. And my next question to them is like many of people that yeah we are expert here, right? And very basic question I have asked, hey, can you please tell me true plus true plus true? For example, I have asked this question, true plus true plus true. So what would be the answer? Like like what anybody will say, like even true plus true, for example. Any guess? Naveen, do you have any guess on this? Or Priyanka, Molly, any guess? Right? So Naveen, you also true, right? Molly, true, correct. But when it comes to programming, right? See, true means one. Okay. So even 100% people there, they mention true only. Okay. In programming, true means one. Okay. And false. False means zero. Got it? And what I'm doing here? Print true plus true, correct? So what is in programming? It don't understand what is true, what is false and all. Okay. True means one and false means zero. If I made true plus true, right? If I execute this program, if I execute this, what did you see? Number 2, correct? Everybody else failed in this. Everybody else is failed. You got it? If I make one more place true, for example, even you can trick your developer today. Hey, developer, anyway, I'm a support engineer, but can you please help me to understand true plus true plus true, right? They will fail. Right. All right. Now did you see it? Now this time 3. How come this is 3? Because true plus 3, true, right? 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 3. If it is like true plus false, next go this. So 1 plus 1 plus 0, which is 2. You get it? How this is changing? Any confusion or anything in this? No, right? You are good, correct? All right. So this talk about a Boolean, but anyway, we will jump it here to understand more insights about Booleans, right? So if I go back here, there is the last one is none type. Anyway, we will jump there also, no problem. So none is also which would not support any any order, unorder, even it is not modifiable, not changeable. It would not support anything. It's just like none. When you want to set some default value in programming, we used to have a value none. So I would say to set default value in programming, use none. None type. Use none type. Don't worry, I had good examples to support this none, but before getting into this none and all the stuff, right? So we need to understand Boolean better. Okay, so far we understand Boolean means true or false, capital T, capital F, remaining all to lower. That's how you had to define a Boolean true and Boolean false. Got it? Cool. And when it comes to here, right, so we had a stuff here. But like how this will be helpful? Hey Kumar, you're saying like Boolean is true or false, but like what is the use of it, right? What is the use of it? To understand this better, I can give you more insights now. Okay, let me take it out this one and keep it in this, right? So Boolean to understand Boolean and to apply Booleans to data structures, numbers, list, tuple, and all other things, right? We need to understand what is Boolean in when it comes to the data structure point of view. So when it comes to numbers, right, except 0, except 0, all are true, all are Boolean true. Okay, so what does really mean? This means that when you define a when you define a number, for example, so other than 0 everything is true case. Okay, how, like you had a next question, like how can I check it, right? So we had a Boolean function, bool function. So like that, like we had it here, all other all other types, right? List, where is it? There is a place where I define all the types. Yeah, here, not this, yeah, here. When it comes to dictionary and bool, BOL. Okay, cool. Let me help you out in this. So print, let's say, is 0, is 0. Uh, Boolean of Boolean of 0 is, for example, if you put the placeholder, what's the function name? Bool, BOL, right? Bool of what do you want to keep? You want to keep 0. You got it? When I do this, bool of 0 means what? As I mentioned, as part of this statement, what is a bool of 0? Who can tell me? False. If I execute this, see, bool of 0 is false. Like, how come it is printing 2 still? I need to comment this out, guys. This is an example, Yeah. Now, other than this two, as I mentioned, other than this 0, everything else is true case only. Got it? Go back here. Let's say, for example, bool of -100. You might be thinking, hey, -100 is less than 0, so this also be false. As please read this carefully. Except Boolean, except 0, all are true case only, including negative numbers. You get it? What I mean? So bool of -100, for example. So this should be true. Okay, if I execute this, get it what I mean? Bool of -100 is true. So meaning except 0, like all positive and negative numbers, all are except 0, all are true case only, true values only. You, but understanding this is very critical. I'm telling you this is very critical. The reason is very simple. When we were checking, let's say you want to loop over, or you want to check some condition. If you want, let's say you need to check 100 servers, for example, and as soon as you check the server, you are deleting one by one, for example, or you are removing it from the list, right? And when the list is become empty, you don't need to perform anything else, right? So that's where this empty list, empty, like, anyway, I'll like, there's a use case, I'll be discussing about that. But understanding this much detailed is very, very important. Okay, so this is about numbers. When it comes to list, in terms of Boolean list, except except empty list, all are Boolean. Got it? So what does really mean? So empty list means list does not have any items in it. That's how it is. Okay, so uh, like, instead of typing down again, I can do this. Pull of empty list. So empty list means just square brackets, does not have any information in this. Okay, so instead of this 0, square brackets. So empty list means a list which does not have any items in it. Okay, that's what empty list. So empty list is false. Got it? And list is having some, let's say, bool of for example 2 comma 3, for example, right? And see, you are making bool of 2 comma 3 is, for example, but the what is the actual value where it is getting taken, right? So here, so in this placeholder, what did you mention here? So this really matters. It's not about this just like a print statement, display message, actually, from here till here, just a display message. But actually, see, if you're making a display message neat, but what is the logic you are doing here? Your logic does not make any sense here, right? So boolean of 2 comma 3 is, it would still print out false, actually. What the reason is very simple. Why? It is checking whether this is true or false, but it's not linked to anywhere this. So this would give you better readability, maintainability, right? When you are looking at the logs, for example, when I execute this, you'll come to know. Did you see it? So boolean of 2 and 3 is false, right? But originally it should be true. But why this become false? Because the reason is simple. Boolean of you mentioned empty list here. So instead of Boolean of 2 3, you put just empty list. That's where the problem arises, right? Now replace that empty list with 2 and 3 here. If you print this, now this become true. Got it? Yeah, did you get it now? Cool. So likewise, empty tuple, empty tuple, tuple with data. So like any data structure, if it is empty, let's say when it comes to string empty, so I would give you a string empty. So empty string means that's it. Like it does not have any characters, even white space. So you may be thinking that, hey Kumar, you are saying like other than empty string, it is everything is true only. For example, I would say let's just string except empty string, all are true cases only. Got it? What I mean? So my what I mean is I tend to help you understand here if empty string, right? So say bool of empty string. So empty string means what? Just keeping quotes. You are seeing like, hey, come on, there's a space here. Man, come on, there's not a space. Uh, here. You got it? No. Bool of empty string is placeholder, and in this the function name is bool, and here you should pass bool of empty string. This is not a space, guys. See, I'll also show you like if it has space, then it looks this, guys. Got it? So, so bool of see here, you'll understand here. See, bool of empty string, meaning does not include any white space around between. If I execute this now, you'll come to know. See, bool of empty string is false, but people write like when it comes to visually you may be thinking that if I keep some space out here, you may be thinking that, hey, there is a space out, but yeah, this is empty, it does not have anything. But when it comes to programming, right, for you visually it's not having anything, but when it comes to program, so as I mentioned, whatever you are seeing on the keyboard, right, each and everything is a character, each and everything linked to a character. Okay, and it is like you must be understood that ASCII numbers, right, in C programming. So each and every character is linked to ASCII number. So we can get that ASCII number using ORD function, but anyway that does not require. But if you need to have some heads up, hey, I want to just learn it, right, you can still go ahead and understand. So using ORD function, so ORD, so if you want to experiment that, ORD of just in this bracket provide the character. Let's say you want to get the word like ask a number of you know space, just put this. If you want to access the ask number of, let's say, if you I think you must be aware that small a is what, ask number of, what is it, it's a 96 or 97. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, 96 or 97. But when it comes to capital A of capital A ASCII number, which is 65, but that is no more linked, no, not at all required. We don't use this ASCII number anywhere at all. Okay, even I am sure that no one will ask about, hey, what is the ASCII value of XYZ. We don't care about it. All right, because that's useless. But for system it's important. For us useless, but system. Okay, where am I? Cool. So here, since there is a space around, that's where you have seen. Uh, oh, 1 second. So if I execute this now, this time you would see. See, Boolean of, again, as I mentioned, that this is where the readability goes off. See, Boolean of, I put the empty string, but it became true because I didn't written a proper readable code. See, Boolean of empty space here around the quotes, right? So this would make sense now. If I execute this, did you see it? Boolean of empty space between the quotes. This would make some value. All right. So like this, when it comes to a string, dictionary, anything else, right? We can experiment that also quickly. Set except empty set all or true case. Okay. So how this can be implemented? So print. So boolean of, for example, empty set, right? Let's say, um, let me have some set with some data. So this is like boolean of like boolean of means, what is it meaning actually? Boolean value of this data type. Boolean value of this data type. You got it? What's the boolean value? Boolean value means like true or false. Okay, which is very important is, oh yeah, here. So here, this way you can, if I execute this program out, this would clearly show you. See, boolean of, oh, did you mention, oh, like what did you mention here? Boolean of this one, right? Yeah, visually. Boolean of 1 comma 2 comma 3 is, how come this got converted, Gadi? See, I put a message Boolean of, uh, oh, okay, my bad, because see, what did I mention here? I mentioned this one, right? 1 to 3. But I'll tell you, there is a concept called augmented assignment. That's where, instead of the, because see, we are using we are using this square brackets for placeholder, right? But when I want to remove the specialness, let's see whether I can remove them. Uh, but anyway, never mind. We don't care about that. Any see, just that boolean of this one is, one second. I would write like this: set of, because this is not that much important, but need to understand this boolean of set of 1 comma 2 comma 3 is, which is true case. Oh, okay, my bad. Here. Oh, come on. I missed this, right? Boolean of this one. I should write instead of placeholder. Placeholder should be there, but here I would say in the inside Boolean of this one, right? This, you got it? Boolean of set of 1 comma 2 comma 3 is true. Why? Because empty set false. All other remaining things is true only. Okay, got it? And when it comes to dictionary, except empty dictionary, all are true. Guys, to remember all these things, it's very simple. You know, if it is a list, if list is empty, it is false. If it is list is having some item, true. Like that, whatever it is. When it comes to number, except zero, remaining all are all are true case only. Okay, yeah, got it? What I mean? Yeah. So see, what I would recommend you is create a tabular format. Okay, put the data type and what is true and what is false in a one tabular format. You got it? What I mean? Can you create one? It's real, like it's a real quick easy. Like your tabular format, this handout, take this as a handout. That would help you to handout, right? So what I'm expecting, so it should be, uh, so here the very first one is data type. The key name, the column name is data type. Okay, and here you should put um, boolean false, and you put boolean true. Okay, it's very easy. Got it? So here, for example, integer or numbers, number type. So boolean false 0. Uh, here positive numbers, all positive and negative. Got it? What I mean? So this would in one picture you understood everything. You got it? Instead of understanding, see, since I understood the concepts, I can write all the stuff, right? But in order to make you understand, so this is easiest, tabular format. Got it, Navin? What needs to be asked actually? Use, you can use uh, like Excel, MS Excel, or like you can use any PowerPoint presentation. Anything is fine, but please create it. No, create tabular format to support all the above explanations in a single table. Got it? See, I have written the programmatically like this here, but you can experiment with you can easily draw. You can do a decorations and all that, right? So that's doable one easily. Got it? What I mean? Yeah. All right. So this is about booleans. So now you understood about importance of booleans, right? So it is critically important, guys. I'm telling you, booleans are critically important when it comes to the programming, because system. See, imagine like when you are working on the computer, right? This computer does not know anything. It only knows what is zero, what is one. Based on that calculations, zero and one, it is getting working. You got it? So, for example, you are writing, number three, for example, or whatever the value, right? So, system don't know this text. It only understands with, let's say, for example, p, right? It understands with word number. Now we understood like why zero and one become very famous. But people think that, hey, when it comes to programming, that is the core fundamental understanding. As I mentioned, right? Talking about true plus true plus these things, right? So they don't have a basic fundamentals of understanding of uh, how system behaves, how system understands this data. When whatever data you return, it only understands with zero and one. It translated to that zero and one format. And you must have heard that, like when it comes to the system, you must be heard about bytes, correct? Bits, bytes. Have you anytime heard about one byte equal to 8 bits, right? But right, but see, that fundamentally you understand. But people, right, as I mentioned, true plus true don't understand. 10, like when you written a value 10, uh, they don't understand how this 10 will be stored in the memory, right? So when you're since you are seeing this on the screen, The reason is very simple. See, as soon as you type, it got stored somewhere in the temporary. Okay, but when it comes to this kind of style, uh, though it is not, when I make some changes, for example, let's say I added something, and if I try running, right? See, now this time only it is asking, hey Kumar, you want to save this file? Okay, but without saving, how where this data got stored, right? In your system there are two memories. One is RAM and ROM, right? RAM is for what? Random access memory. Okay, so when you write all the information, this information will be stored in the RAM initially. Okay, RAM is for temporary storage. It cannot remember for permanently, but where ROM is a permanent storage. Like you have a disk, right? So ROM is used for permanent storage, but RAM is during the fly, it would keep the data. It will keep this information in the memory stuff. And as soon as you run, this data will be wiped out from there. Got it? And accessing to the RAM memory is completely restricted because that is completely managed by a system itself or your computer itself. Got it? What I mean? Yeah. So I think so far we had done so much work here. The expectation from this is, and one second, let me stop sharing my screen. Yeah. So from today, the expectation is that I will not be sharing the code which I have written, but anyway, I will share maybe for a few days. But my recommendation would be revisit the session, revisit, and like work from there. Take the notes, and also start taking notes, guys. Start taking notes because you understood the concepts now. By looking at my program, if you run it, it would work actually, because it is working code on, but when it comes to you, what I would recommend is like understand the concept, take down the notes, right? It would hardly take, anyway, 1 hour, 1.5 hour session only, right? Take a notes, take a neat note, right? Practice it. So practice is very important at this moment. Got it? And I want to stop it here because otherwise it will become heavy for you. I would love to continue and go with more topics today. The reason is very simple. I really want you to come up to the speed since it's only day 2. So I don't want to move that much faster, right? You need to have some hands dirty, like use next 1 2 hours for your practice. Anyway, you must be like connecting maybe in the afternoon or something, right? So please sit now itself. Now I'll share the code. Sit, try to practice it because before this till so we just had a session, right? So you can easily remember the